how to do twin flame healing. So this video, I've decided, is going to be part of my twin flame video course. I'm also going to post it on YouTube. It's probably going to be pretty long. But guys, I'm with my twin flame. We are in a permanent, peaceful relationship. There's no running and chasing. There's no toxicity. There's none of that stuff. We're together. And it's great. It's peaceful. It's nice. She's not going anywhere. She follows me around like a little lost puppy dog. And another thing, just in case there's any trolls that want to get into the comments of the YouTube video. Yes, she's my twin flame. You don't just meet somebody and have Kundalini and become incredibly psychic. And then all the other weird stuff that happens, like all the repeating number patterns and synchronicities and having control over physical reality and all this other fucking weird shit that people say is crazy and you're nuts if you believe this stuff, but spiritual people, we know that it's real. And by the way, it turns out physics, modern physics, is actually validating a lot of this kind of stuff, but I won't get into that in this video. You know, this kind of woo-woo stuff, right? Oh, it's real, all right. You don't just meet somebody and have all of these crazy paranormal experiences. And by the way, whenever I would experience like a very deep spiritual shift where it's beyond mind, it's beyond thought and mental construct, okay? Like feeling as though I am one with everything, to the point where it's not that I'm one with everything. There's no with. There's no me and everything. It's just all just one thing. And I would feel, this was 6 years ago, I would feel this deep spiritual shift, which is beyond thought and concept. It's not emotional. It's something that the mind can't even explain. Whenever I would feel that, that's when she would come right back. It could have been just a few days earlier. She was rejecting me, ghosting me, telling me I don't ever want to talk to you again. And then I would experience the shift. They call it unity consciousness. That's where the word union really comes from. I would experience the shift and she would come right back. They say twin flames are the same soul. Okay, so I experience something beyond mind, and that's exactly when she comes back. Yeah, twin flames are the same soul, guys. They are the same soul. For those of you watching the online video course, apologies if some of this is repetitive. You know, I got to make this video good for YouTube as well, but you're all about to learn something here today. So one of the things that I see all the time, it's madness, guys. The so-called twin flame community, all of these twin flame chat rooms and forums, all of the things that you see people peddling around about twin flames, it's absolute madness. Some of the things that they're saying. Robert Kiyosaki, he's this rich guy, right? He's a millionaire, multi-millionaire. He wrote a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and in the book, he talks about how your house isn't really an asset. Even if your banker lets you list it that way on your financial statement, it's really not an asset. He is a successful real estate person. He makes tens of millions of dollars per year. And he wrote a book explaining how he did it. And in the book it says, yeah, your house isn't really an asset. The publishers that he took the book to, they said, yeah, we're not going to print that, dude. You can't say that. Wait a minute. You're a publisher. You work at a job 60 hours a week. You make maybe $70,000 a year. And you're going to tell me I don't know what I'm talking about? That makes no sense. Maybe the reason people struggle and make $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year, which isn't really that much anymore, guys. It really doesn't get you as far as you would think it does. Maybe the reason people struggle is because they have all of these misconceptions about money. For example, your house is an asset. No, I gotta have the multi-millionaire Robert Kiyosaki being told, you don't know what you're talking about. Or here's another example, a bodybuilder. A bodybuilder, he's all ripped, super muscular, badass. And here's the scrawny little guy asking him, how did you do it? So the bodybuilder tells him, here's how I did it. And the scrawny guy goes, oh no, that's not going to work. You don't know what you're doing. Really? I'm muscular, I'm totally ripped, and you're telling me I don't know how to get ripped. Okay, dude. So, guys, I'm with my twin flame. There is no healing on the twin flame journey. That's psychology. You don't need to do healing, guys. And no, it's not different for everybody. Oh, it's different for everybody though, Kurt. We're going to talk about that. It is not different for everybody. There's no healing. I'm with my twin flame. I'm telling you that there's no healing, and I'm still going to get people that are going to fucking argue with me about this. This is ridiculous. Guys, if you see somebody in one of these twin flame chat rooms saying things like, oh, it's different for everybody. Everybody's twin flame journey is different. It works different for everybody. Run away, guys. Run away screaming like your hair is on fire. Do not listen to these people. There is day and night. There is day and night. Why? Because the earth is spinning. Everybody lives on the earth. So, the reason that there is day and night is the same for everybody. This piece of metal, it could be aluminum, it could be magnesium. How do you know? Well, I don't know. I guess we could look at its properties, we could weigh it, we could look at the volume of it, we could figure out what kind of metal it's made out of. Well, it's going to be different for everybody. For some people, it could be tungsten. It could be aluminum. It could be hydrogen even. It's different for everybody. No, it's going to be what it's going to be. It's going to be magnesium. This is magnesium. And you'll understand why I have a piece of magnesium in a little bit. But, guys, it's the same for everybody. 2 + 2 is 4 for everybody. If you're going to say that there's this phenomenon called twin flames, then there is a way that it works, guys. Why does the sun shine? Because it's made out of hydrogen, and it's got a lot of gravity, and it's collapsing in on itself, and it creates a fusion reaction at its core, and it generates heat and light. That's why the sun shines. Well, I think it's because there's unicorns flying around the sun. Well, it doesn't matter what you think. Well, you're bad and you're mean for not validating my belief that it's unicorns. That's another thing that you're going to see people say. This is what I meant when I said that these twin flame chat rooms are madness. And those of you that have been in these twin flame chat rooms long enough, you know I'm not exaggerating. It really is like that. It's everybody has a different explanation for twin flames. Yeah, there's no one way that it works. It's different for everybody. Really, just like the sun shining and the reason that there are rainbows and the reason that it rains and snows, and it's just different for everybody. I think it rains and snows because, I don't know, there's chocolate in the atmosphere. There's chocolate molecules in the atmosphere, and it's the chocolate molecules that make it rain and snow. Yeah, that's what it is. Just some random thing that I made up, right? And then if somebody was to go, well, why do you think it's that way? Do you have any evidence to demonstrate that it's chocolate? Instead of answering the question, you get, well, you're bad and you're mean and you're toxic for questioning my reality. How dare you? This is my truth, and truth is subjective, and it's different for everybody. Guys, this is narcissism. And this is going on nonstop all day in these Twin Flame chat rooms. And by the way, it's insane. This is madness. Guys, Twin Flames are what they are, guys. It's your soul. Yeah, it's your soul. That is true. And again, for those of you watching on YouTube, check out my playlist. There's a playlist on my YouTube channel called Twin Flame Science. Twin Flame Science. Watch the first 2 videos. Your twin flame is one of your past lives, guys. Yeah, you are the same soul. Every life you've ever lived, you were a soul, right? If you had a time machine and you went back in time and you met yourself, whoever you were in your last lifetime, are you guys the same soul? That's exactly what's going on here. So go check out my playlist, Twin Flame Science. So, for everybody watching, we need to get this straightened out right now, guys. Truth is objective. You don't get to decide what the truth is. You don't get to decide how Twin Flames works. I don't get to decide how Twin Flames works. There's no amount of healing that's ever going to help you be more of a soul than you already are. That's the whole problem, guys. Healing does not cause self-actualization. There's no amount of psychology that's ever going to make one bit of difference, guys. And my students, they hear me talking about like Kundalini and heart activation. Another word for it is, I think people call it heart chakra opening and all of this kind of stuff. And they think if I get to the point where I'm experiencing those things, then I'll become more of a soul, I'll become spiritual, right? But the thing that's so frustrating to a spiritual student about a spiritual teacher, at least a good spiritual teacher that knows what they're doing, is it looks like the spiritual teacher is always moving the goalpost. Will you go through these changes and shifts? Well, yeah. I mean, if you're doing this right, so to speak, doing it right. But those things happen as a result of letting go of identification with the mind. Like the mind is what wants to become. The mind is duality. That's where the yin and yang symbol came from. The mind is duality. It thinks it can become things. And it can. Actually, it can become sad, happy, right? Informed. It can learn things and become informed, right? It really can. It can do those things. But the one thing it can never become is the soul. The soul is who you are beyond the mind. No amount of changing the way that you think and letting go of limiting beliefs and letting go of trauma, no amount of moving around the thoughts and changing the thoughts and emotions that you have is ever going to make you more of a soul. You just are not that which believes it needs to rearrange the mind. The mind is what believes it needs to rearrange the mind. Humans believe themselves to be a mind. That's what people are doing. All humans are doing it. All humans derive their very sense of identity from this collection of mental and emotional patterns that we've been accumulating since birth. It's called a personality, an ego. But who are you beyond that? Well, you are a soul. The soul is mostly consciousness, almost all consciousness. Consciousness is not thought or emotion. And you can't think your way into consciousness. This is why people meditate, spiritual people. If you're doing it right, you're meditating because you experience yourself as this consciousness. You're not thinking about consciousness. You just are that. You can't think your way into that. Maybe this video won't be as long as I think it's going to be. You cannot become spiritual, guys. Again, when you realize, listen very carefully, when you realize that you are not that which is trying to become spiritual, that's this remembrance that I speak of. The mind is trying to become spiritual. It's trying to... And again, guys, there's going to be just non-stop people that are going to tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. Like the bodybuilder. The bodybuilder that's all ripped, he's all built up, he's all badass, and here comes the scrawny dude telling him, oh yeah, you don't know how to become ripped. Guys, you can get the running and chasing with your twin flame to stop. If you want to do healing, be my guest. You're a grown-up. You do whatever you want. If you want to say that I don't know what I'm talking about, okay. Now, you can do healing. It's psychology. Healing is psychology. It is not spiritual. Spiritual is consciousness. Healing is fine. Psychology is fine. But if you're going to do that, do it for you, dude. If you're doing anything to get your twin flame to come back, they're going to run. There's no separation. The mind believes itself to be separate from your twin flame. It only understands physical forms, guys. That's where that word really came from. It's not a relationship status. It's not a stage. It's the mental perception of reality. The mind believes itself to be separate from the world, from everything. Remember when I told you a little bit ago about how I've experienced this oneness? And now it happens on a daily basis. And again, right off the bat, the mind is going, oh, I got to make sure that I get to that. I have to acquire that experience, right? And what I'm telling you is, you are not that which acquires. You are not that which is trying to become. And when you realize that at the deepest level, that's when you do experience union. So the word union comes from unity consciousness. These are not twin flame terms. And you don't think your way there. You're not that which is trying to become this. But that experience of oneness is beyond mind. It can't be attained. It just is you. The mind is just getting in the way. And again, the mind, you guys, I'm telling you, these twin flame chat rooms, they're bad for you. They're full of this kind of stuff. People that are going to tell you that you got to heal, like healing is spiritual. No spiritual master is going to tell you that. Buddha, Jesus, Krishna, Yogananda, Paramahansa Yogananda, right? Eckhart Tolle, Rupert Spira, Alan Watts, Ram Dass, all of them, guys, all of the great spiritual masters, they're going to tell you you're wasting your time. You will never think or emote your way into becoming a soul. You just are a soul. That which thinks it needs to change the emotional and thought patterns is not you. You are not doing that. There's a lot of people on the internet also who are just confused. I call them the helpful handymen. Nice people, but they're just confused, guys. And maybe they really did meet their twin flame. Let's talk about that too. Somebody who says that they are with their twin flame. I'm going to make a video specifically about this next week. All the so-called twin flame couples. Okay. So here's two pieces of metal. One of them is aluminum and one of them is magnesium. How can you tell? Because they pretty much look the same, don't they? How can you tell? Well, I don't know. I guess we can just listen to what somebody says. They say that they are a twin flame, so I guess we're going to believe them. And here's another narcissistic trick that people in these twin flame chat rooms are doing. Everybody deserves to be believed. My truth is my truth, guys. This is toxic. It's incredibly narcissistic. If you say you're a unicorn and then you insist that I have to go along with it and play along with you and that I should allow you to have your belief, yeah, guess what? No, I do not. Being spiritual does not mean that you need to be somebody's doormat. No, you know what? I can do whatever I want. Thank you very much. You are not going to tell me what to do, pal. I don't know who you think you are. I do not have to validate your delusion that you're a unicorn. I'm not going to do it. No, I don't need to let you have your belief. You're not going to boss me around and tell me what I need to do. You're not a unicorn. End of story. This is narcissism at its finest, guys. People insisting that you're bad and you're toxic if you won't validate their delusion. Most of the time, when you see two people on the internet, YouTube, Facebook, whatever it is, and they call themselves twin flames, they're soulmates, guys. They are not twin flames. And you're not bad for calling that out. What's really going on is these people just want to be one of the cool kids. Think about it. Twin flames has become this fad. The truth is, twin flames is real. It's a real phenomenon. And it's a real phenomenon for the same reason reincarnation is a real phenomenon. Again, go watch my twin flame science playlist. But unfortunately, it's become a fad too. And so you have a lot of people on the internet who want to fit in and they want to be one of the cool kids and they want to be popular. And so they go, oh, well, we're twin flames. And then when you look at the dynamic of their relationship, it's no different than what people have always called a soulmate. So why even have this new category called twin flames if it's just going to be exactly like soulmates? What is the difference between a twin flame and a soulmate then? Why even have two categories if it's just going to be whatever you want it to be? And then again, the narcissistic garbage about, well, you need to believe them. That's their truth. There's no my truth, guys. Anybody, if you ever hear somebody say my truth, you're probably dealing with a toxic narcissist. Straight up. And the ones that are the worst are the ones that act like a victim. It's called covert narcissism. That's how they hide their toxic behavior, is by playing poor me and crying and acting all sad and you hurt me and blah, blah, blah. all day long in these twin flame chat rooms. And you know what's really sad about these twin flame chat rooms is there's a lot of people in these chat rooms who actually have met their twin flame. And now those people are all confused and they don't know what to do because everybody is just making shit up as they're going along. I saw a post in a twin flame chat room where they were going, how could I tell if this person is my twin flame? And they literally got like 30 different answers. How do you know which person is right? Guys, there is a way that this works, okay? This is a real phenomenon, and if it's a real phenomenon, then there is a way that it works. Just like everything else in the whole universe. It's not subjective. The sun rises and sets for the same reason that it does for everybody, okay? And that's good news. That means you can figure out what to do here. How can I get my twin flame to stop rejecting me? So, how do we figure out which one is aluminum and which one is magnesium? Well, what you can do is dip them in water. You got to have like a big, like a chemical beaker, right? That a chemist would use. Dip it in water and you can measure the volume. And then you weigh it on a scale. And there's a calculation that you can do based on the periodic table of elements to determine which one is magnesium and which one is aluminum. That's high school chemistry. It's probably middle school chemistry, actually. There are ways to tell which one is which, guys. It's called science. Science is your friend. Science is, here's another thing. Watch out for this too. People that invoke the word science. Right? People that invoke the word science. Well, your twin flame is whatever you want it to be because science. Really, how is that scientific? Please explain. And then they don't want to explain it, right? Again, go check out my twin flame science playlist. There is a rational explanation for twin flames, guys. And it complies with the laws of physics. It's so brilliant. You got to go check it out, guys, on my twin flame science playlist. The first 2 videos, it's so obvious what is going on here with twin flames and why it works the way it works. That's good news. You can get your twin flame to stop rejecting you. So, how can you tell if 2 people on YouTube are actually twin flames? Well, there's a couple of videos that I'll link down below for you about twin flame couples that I've made. I'll link those videos for you. Watch them both. They both, in both videos, they kind of make different points that I think complement each other, both videos. And, you know, also, it doesn't hurt to hear some of the same things a couple of times because it sinks in. That's why, like this video course, if you're watching my video course, that's why it's so long. I know how this works, guys. I know how to be a coach. You got to hear this stuff again and again and again, and then it starts to make sense to you. So, your twin flame is your soul. You got to do soul stuff, my friends. There's no amount of healing that's ever going to make you more of a soul, guys. And again, I'm not even saying healing is bad. You can do healing if you want, but if you're doing it to get your twin flame back, they're just going to keep rejecting you. And another thing, again, all these people, these crazy people, they're going to insist all day long that healing is what gets your twin flame back. They've been waiting for their twin flame to come back for 10 fucking years. All they've been doing is healing and waiting. Their twin flame still isn't with them. And I guess the answer is to do it harder. I guess I got to do more healing. It hasn't been working for 10 years, so I'm just going to do it even harder. What do they say? I don't know if this is the true definition of insanity, but you guys have heard the old saying about, you know, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result each time. Well, I don't know if that's the true definition of insanity, but I'll tell you what, that is insane. It's totally irrational. If you've been doing the same fucking thing for 10 years and you're not getting anything different, try something else. Guys, there's no healing. Healing is not going to cause you to become a soul. You are a soul. And that which heals itself, that which is seeking for some change, that's the idea behind psychology, is that we're going to have different thought patterns, different emotional patterns. We're going to do some healing. Totally fine. Psychology is fine. It just doesn't apply here, guys. Because rearranging the contents of your mind isn't going to make you a soul. It's not going to help you to see that you're a soul either. At all. 0% chance that that's going to help. If you want to do healing, do it. I have. I actually have done that. I am a narcissism survivor. I've spent a couple of years talking to a psychologist about it, right? My sibling, we do not talk to certain members of my family, unfortunately. It was very difficult to make that decision. It took me years to make that decision, but I don't know what else to do. You can't change people. So that's what I did. But notice my twin flame had nothing to do with that at all. That was something I did to work out my family shit, guys. And I feel better for it. But when it comes to her, my twin flame, the reason we are together, it's not fucking healing, guys. And it's not different for everybody. Anytime you hear somebody go, everybody's journey is different, that is a fucking red flag, guys. That person is probably a manipulator. And they're probably not a twin flame. They're probably not somebody that's met their twin flame. Or if they have, again, where is their twin flame? Are they with their twin flame? You can get your twin flame to be with you, guys. You can do it. I've had people where both my student and their twin flame were married when they met. And now they are together. I'm not saying that's going to happen for every single one of you. It doesn't matter if you're with your twin flame. It does not matter. And don't tell me, well, that's easy for you to say. You're with your twin flame. Right. The reason I'm with her is because I don't make her the goal. And I fully realize that it really doesn't matter if we're together. That's why we are together. It's a paradox. Okay. It's non-duality. You're never going to understand this. That's the mind. You got to leave all that psychological baloney behind, guys. That's the only way. You got to stop trying to heal your way there. You got to stop trying to become spiritual. You are not that which is trying to become spiritual. You allow, you surrender, and you trust this process. That's all you got, guys. And again, this cannot be overstated. Don't listen to people that tell you it's subjective. It absolutely is not. Truth is not subjective. Let go of all that stuff, guys.